Hi everyone, welcome to Tom's Manshed. Okay, first of all, before I do today's review, I'll show you my shirt. I get a few comments about the shirts, so you may notice what this is from the top bit there. It is, of course, a Dalek, so Doctor Who themed shirt today. Again, I may do a video one day on where I get them from, but for now, today's video is on this. Now, I saw this in Lidl's this week. I bought two LED things. I got Lidl's for me weekly shop every Thursday, and I saw two things. I saw this LED sensor light, which detects movement and comes on, and I saw this 10-meter LED strip light. I was going to do a combined video on them both, but any regular viewers will know that my videos do go on. I do tend to do a bit of waffling, but I try to make them as intensive as I can with every single detail in there. So I've decided to do a review on each one separately, two separate reviews. But like I say, it will be quite long. If you do want to skip any parts, use the timeline below and you can skip to each relevant bit and cut out bits you don't want to watch. Just skip to the conclusion at the very end if you like. Okay, so what it is what it says on the box, a 10-meter LED light strip. Now, this make, Livarno, is Lidl's own make, along with Silvercrest, Parkside. They have their own sort of Crelando, I think, for art materials and stuff. They have their own separate brands. And the good thing about them is you get a 3-year warranty. So I've mentioned it a million times before. Check up here to see how good Lidl's 3-year warranty really is. They give a really good service. Keep your receipt. If you've got the app, you'll have a digital receipt. But whenever I get a gadget from there, I ask for a paper receipt as well. So keep your receipt. You never know. Within a year, you can get your money back or swap it in store if they're in stock. Between 1 year and 3 years, you've got to get in touch with the number inside and take it through that guarantee. So we're going to do an unboxing now. So it is a 10-meter LED light strip, great for cabinet, but I'll let you read that yourself. 4 colour change program, 16 individual colours. There's 300 dimmable RGB LEDs. That's 30 per metre. It can be shortened and is self-adhesive. Self-adhesive, where are we? Yeah, and for indoor use, and it's got a remote control. Now, I usually show you a few comparable ones on Amazon. I had a quick look on Amazon, and you can get it. I couldn't find one as cheap as this. I'll put the price below. It was £6.99. Cheapest I found was £7.50, so, 50p more. But like I said, the beauty is with this, you get your 3-year warranty, and you have a look on Amazon, see if you can find one with a 3-year warranty. I don't think you will. For a quid or two more, there seem to be a few with an app on a phone. I don't think this has got the app. There's nothing mentioned so far on the box, so I don't think it's got the app, just the remote control. So we're going to do an unboxing now, and then I'm going to have a sit and read the instructions and have a play with it and show you in action. So I've cut through the security tab and opened the lid just to see, have a quick look inside. But I've not gone any further than that. So you get, as always, you get your instruction book, and this will be in a few different languages. Most of these are safety instructions. Most of them, irrelevant, but companies have got to do it by law. They'll probably say, like, don't use underwater and things like that. You get the remote control. Okay, we'll be going through all these. The strip itself, and it's wrapped in tissue, and got all the CE marks and stuff like that. You can trust, again, getting it from a big store with a proper returns policy and everything, that it's not going to be fake copied, dangerous or anything like that. It's going to be of decent quality. So that's where you plug your power supply in. Again, I shall be going through all this when I've had a play with it. And you get whatever is in here. Just got PAP written on it, whatever that is. Yeah, it's just a clip, piece of double-sided tape there. 3M double-sided tape. You'll clip that up. And there's a bit, I don't know, just about see sort of like a butterfly shape on that. I'll tell you what that is when I find out. And finally, you get your power supply. So it's terminated with a barrel plug, that end, and it is, I'll just read it to you, it is 24 volt output. I was going to say it'd be nice if it was a USB type plug, but yeah, 24 220 240 volts, 24 volts, 220 to 240 volts input, output 24 volts, maximum 1 amp. So, and obviously that just plugs in there like that. So like I say, I'm going to have a good read now and have a play, and I'll be back with you to show you how it works. Okay, so I've had a bit of a play with it now on the desk. When you get the remote control, when you first get it, there is this bit, as there is in most of these things with a watch start battery, bit of plastic in the back of this. So if you're trying to use the remote and it's not working, make sure you've pulled this plastic tab out. That then exposes the battery in there, and you should be able to use it. When it comes time to change the battery, it is one of them, it can be a bit awkward, these. You try to pull the slide out and you can't. You've got to push that bit sort of down. That's like a locking pin, and it's a bit hard to show you on in front of the camera, but if you pull that down across with your thumb, push that in with your thumb, and with your fingernail pull it out. Once you've got it out, you can then slide it, and it's a standard 2032 watch battery. So that's your remote control. That little bit of plastic that came with it, say it's like a butterfly shaped thing, which you can't see there, but it shows you what it is on there. When you've cut the cable, because you can cut this to length and extend it and things like that, I'll show you that. You put that protective tab around the exposed terminals so they don't get shorted out on anything. So that's all that's for. Now, the strip itself, so one end you've got this thick end that the power supply plugs into, obviously. That's got a strip of 3M double-sided tape on it as well. Got these labels here. You could cut them off if you like, I suppose. But you can cut this strip to length. If where you're sticking it can take like a doubled up amount, go like, 2 meters that way and 2 meters that way, do that. But you can just cut it to length. Now you might think once you've cut it, the other bit is rubbish because there's no means of connecting it to the power supply, because you can see it's all like soldered on in there. But what you can do, and to cut it, so the whole strip is covered with double-sided 3M tape again, and you can only cut it in certain places where it shows, I'll get it the right way around, where the copper strips are. There you can see a little pair of scissors, got 24 volt at the top, then blue, red, green. That was where you would cut it. and there's a good amount of strip left each side. You can see some of these strips I've seen online, they're only like as wide as one of them pieces of copper, and once you've cut it, it doesn't leave much sticking through the other end. But this, there's plenty to do. So go from there, and then the next one along is there. So it's about every sort of 6 inches you can cut it. Don't cut it anywhere else, or it won't work. Once you've cut it, like I say, I'll show it you lit up in a minute. Once you've cut it, say you cut a foot off, don't throw that foot away, because what you can get are these. I'll just show you. So you can get these joining strips. Now, some of these LED strips are 6 pins. This is a 4-pin, the 24 volts and the RGB. So this is what you're looking for, a 4-pin one. And as you can see here, for like $7.39, you get 10 connectors and a big load of extension cable. Same there. And you can also, these are like inline connectors to reconnect whatever you've cut off. And you can get 190-degree bend ones as well there. That is probably the one I'd tend to get. You've got 4 sort of extension little bits there. Quite a lot of wire. 4 straight ones and 4 bent ones for £7.50. So I don't know whether you can extend this 10-metre strip with an extra strip. The power supply might be just adequate for this. I don't know that. And there's nothing in the book mentioning that. But you can obviously reconnect any part of the strip you've cut off. So that's it. So that's, like I said, I've shown you how you cut it. Shown you the power supply. The lead, as I didn't mention it before, is 1.5 meters long from the plug-in power supply. That's your remote control. Take the little plastic bit out for the battery. So plug the extension in there. The thing has lit up. It says in the book, don't use it coiled up in its packaging. It does get reasonably warm, this, but not alarmingly so. You could coil it around inside a light, but you wouldn't have all 10 meters coiled around, I wouldn't have thought. So on your remote control, you've got off and on, obviously. So off, I might have to put it down at it because it's infrared. Press off and it goes off. Press on and it comes on. These 2 buttons here, the one on the left tells you in the instruction book here, it's increased brightness if you press button briefly, and increase the colour speed of the colour changes. Sorry, increase the speed of the colour changes when you hold it down. So if I go on it, just keep clicking, that increases the brightness. It's at full brightness now. And if I go down, you should see. I'll turn out this main light. I'll leave the room lights on. In fact, I'll turn the main light off in the room. Right. So, keep clicking it repeatedly and the brightness goes up. Click this one next to it repeatedly and the brightness goes down. You may not be able to see it too much on the camera because the camera compensates, but you should actually sort of see it lighting my face up or the room. So that's it. Now, the colours, you've got red, green and blue and white along the top. So if I click W for white, that is white. It's a bit sort of turquoisey. It's I said turquoisey, as you'll see. Like, it's not pure white, but it's near enough. And then blue, green and red, just steady. And below each colour, you've got various shades of that colour. So we're on red now. If I go down, you'll see it's going through various sort of stages of red to yellow And then if I go green, again, sort of turquoise, different shades of green and blue. I'm trying to do this reverse way around. Let's go into a purple, even more purple, and even more purple. And the buttons here, the first one under my finger there, under the white, is labelled flash. And if you click that, it just goes red, blue, green, red, blue, green, red, blue, green, and just keeps flashing. Again, if you want to increase the intensity, the quickness, if I hold that button, you can see it slows it right down. It's on blue, it's just gone to red now. If I click the other one and hold it in, I can speed it right up so it flashes pretty quick. The next one down is strobe. Now to me this isn't a strobe, but this strobe, it's like a pulse, like a heartbeat rhythm. And again, that just goes through the three colours. The next one is entitled Fade. Some strange names on these. But that, again, pulses in and out, but it's 7 different colours. You can probably see there, green or white, purple, yellow, blue. And the final one down is colour change. And that's just a sudden colour change, not a fading in one. But again, through 7 different colours. And again, you can slow them down. Speed it right up. Really, really quick flash. And back to steady with one at the top. And increase the brightness with the individual clicks. Decrease it right down to very dull. So yeah, that's basically all the functions on it. I'll stick it up somewhere now, probably in the kitchen under a cupboard or under one of my shelves here in the man shed, and I'll sort of see it more in the sort of action you'd actually tend to use it. So let's have a look at that now. Okay, so this is the lights in my man shed. I've not turned them on yet. Just showing you, I'm on manual controls on the camera, and you can see with them off it's pitch black. If I turn them on, there, I've adjusted the aperture so it's seeing pretty much what my eyes are seeing. So the brightness you're seeing now is pretty much what I can see. There, that bit there in the middle is pretty much in the shadows, but I can just about make it out. And that's how bright they are. So if we go through the I don't know, the colours, got on a medium flash, and just speed it up a bit. There, really sort of psychedelic. But the main thing I wanted to show you was what it'd be ideal for is above a shelf like that, and you can see, like I said, that's just about what I'm seeing. So great for above a shelf full of figurines. These are some things I'm giving away soon as presents, done in Make a World. And again, over here, you can see how bright it is there, but where I've just got it facing us, it's not lighting up them characters at all. But positioned right at the front of that shelf, it's getting them really good. And it just shows you how much 10 meters is. So it goes from there along here behind the TV, obviously you can't see it there, right round there, in mid-air to there, and then just draped in front of the 3D printer, and you can see all of them right down to the floor. So you get a heck of a lot with 10 meters. But like I said, that's the bit I really wanted you to see, how good on a white light it is at illuminating the shelf. And if we did it red, green and blue, but obviously white looks the best. Okay, so that is how bright it is. So yeah, as you saw there, it was pretty bright, brighter than I was expecting actually. And if I'd have had it properly spread out, that full 10 meters, it'd have lit the place up pretty good. Like I say, from my point of view, the thing I'd probably use it for is illuminating a shelf full of figurines like I've got here. Now, if you're putting it under, say, the shelf above, I didn't have it, I just had it vaguely stuck on with bits of sellotape just for the demo. Normally you'd peel the thing off and cut it flush, but you would still be able to see the edges of them LEDs. So I tend to put like a little 1-inch deep pelmet on the front of the shelf just to cover them. And then it'd look very, very effective, particularly just under a white light. And there'd be enough for all the shelves in this shed. So yeah, I think for $6.99, you can't go wrong. Now, as I showed you at the beginning of this video, the instruction book, for some reason, you know, it's your usual multi-language thing, but it doesn't have a British service centre number on it, just the German one, which is really unusual. So I'll put one on screen now. And as you can see here, it's got the UK number, the Great Britain number, Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland phone numbers. That's from the other video I'm going to be uploading very shortly on the LED sensor light, and that's an even cheaper product, and it's got the UK service number in there. So if it did break down within the 3 years, like I say, who's going to bother you normally? But you know, you can do it within the year. Like I say, if you take it back to the shop where you got it from, or any Lidl's, with your receipt, and again, your digital receipts are on your Lidl app, but I always keep the paper one anyway. So they will ask you for that if you have to get in touch with a service centre. But that screen grab a minute or so ago, use that and give them the serial number and that from this, but with that address. So yeah, pretty good. Extending it, like I say, I would tend not to extend it. It comes as 10 meters with that power supply. That's probably all it's capable of. It's a 1 amp power supply. Maybe if you upped it to say 2 amp, it might supply another 10 meters. I don't know, the controller might not. It might be just designed for that. So I would stick to just this length with it. If you did want any extra, run it off its own power supply or whatever. But anything within this 10 meters, you can cut, and you can put them little elbow things I showed you earlier on to go neatly round corners. So yeah, anything you've cut off isn't wasted for future use. So hope it has been of some use, this. Thanks for sticking to the very, very end. If you haven't already subscribed, I would absolutely love you to do so. Click the little picture here of the shed on the left or the right, wherever it is, and then click the bell icon below, and you'll be informed of any uploads as soon as I do them. So I shall see you very, very soon with what I think is going to be a diffuser, aroma therapy ultrasonic diffuser. That's coming very, very soon. Catch you for that. Bye for now.